And right after they
Do you have your placard?
No, I just told my placard.
Oh, that's so cool. Okay.
So I
Back when I was there, obviously. That's cool.
I looked back there and it's just you? Yeah. How does being a student executive work?
and basically there's
Yeah, because I was next week.
I just want to, well, they haven't started on Orchid no, they never started on
Oh, it's on your monitor. So it's not like
There's more motions in case you know exactly what you want. As long as you don't steal it from
Is there a session after?
yeah, so we'll know.
Wait, no.
Are you going?
No.
Why?
That was what I didn't think of. That's what I know.
Yeah, I don't have to go in my when I already done that.
Distracting though.
I think it's definitely cool. But Brian, you haven't hit.
I know we shut up.
Yeah.
Free prizes.
I think another person.
I now call this meeting of the Student Senate to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I want to begin our Student Senate meeting taking place on Thursday, November 14th, 2024, with a land acknowledgement. We recognize that Kansas State University, as the first land-grant institution, stands on the ancestral lands of the Kaw people. Our state of Kansas is home to 4 federally recognized Native nations, the Iowa, Kickapoo, Prairie Band, Potawatomi, and Sac and Fox. We must remember that the land serving as the foundation for this institution was and still is stolen land acquired by white settlers. We pledge our commitment to creating decolonized spaces at the university while advocating for the support and future success of Indigenous faculty, staff, and students at K-State. And with that, Speaker Pro Tem Heseltine will take it with our first roll call.
Alvarez. Here. Black.
Here.
Blood.
Here.
Brugan. Byers.
Here.
Casement.
Here.
Koch.
Here.
Ediger.
Here.
Erickson.
Here.
George. Glanville.
Here.
Glasscock.
Here.
Hassan Shakib.
Hello, George's here.
We gotcha. Hassan.
Hello.
We gotcha.
George's here.
Yes, sir. We gotcha.
Thank you.
Hassan Shakib.
Yeah.
Did you say here?
Yes.
Okay. Hannah.
Here.
Holmes. Holzmeister.
Here.
Islam. Jacobson. Jonak.
Here.
Carton.
Here.
Keen. Kermer.
Here.
Kramer. Lee.
Here.
Lilly.
Here.
McCullough.
Here.
Moltz.
Here.
Morris.
Here.
Otto.
Here.
Owen.
Here.
Peterson. Palenko.
Here.
Cray. Robbie.
Here.
Rafferty.
Here.
Richenberg.
Here.
Shahasavari.
Here.
Shirky.
Here.
Sides. Stewart. Strunk.
Here.
Sushanik. Uphouse.
Here.
And Zacco.
Okay, and with that, we will now go into first open period. Our first open period speaker tonight is Marissa Lux.
Hi everyone, my name is Marissa Lux and I'm a district representative for Senator Moran here in the Manhattan office.
And my name is Kristen Little, and I'm the Director of Operations for him and here in the Manhattan office.
So today we wanted to talk a little bit about our internship program. Our spring applications are currently open for this upcoming spring, and then we'll have our summer applications that will open in January. This is a video, it's on our website. You can look it up if you want to watch it later, but we'll talk more than watch the video.
So I'll tell you a little bit about our state internships. Our state staff has a focus on outreach to the community and constituent services. Our state interns are incredibly helpful to the team. They get an opportunity to work with us as staff here in the state. They help us with calls. They help us with correspondence back to Kansans that are reaching out to us. They help us with projects. They help us on our casework. They keep us updated with all the Kansas newspapers. It really is, it's a crash course in Kansas and all the people that are here and everything that makes it work. We have state internships here in our Manhattan office. Also, if your hometown is in other places of the state, we have offices in Olathe, we have offices in Hayes, we have one in Hayes. In Wichita is the other one. So if any of those areas are hometowns to you that you'd be there in the summer, it could be an opportunity. That's really the nutshell of state internships. The senator does come back to the state of Kansas frequently. It provides an opportunity to go to his events and get to see how he interacts with people in the state and really get to know him.
And then our DC internships look a little bit different in the sense they're more focused towards legislative decisions and those types of projects. Again, just more legislative and policy based. So we have kind of our main tasks that keep the office together. Again, like Kristen said, our office really values our interns. The senator actually started as an intern when he was in college, and so he really values this program. And so as an intern, you'd be representing the senator in the front office in the DC office, and so whether that would be giving Capitol tours to constituents and families visiting, greeting constituents on the phone, over email, in person when they walk into the office. It's really a cool opportunity to meet a lot of different people while still representing our state. And then we also can go a little bit more in depth. So if you're really interested in a certain policy area, a few examples would be aviation, immigration, law enforcement, agriculture. We have staff members that assist the senator in all of those portfolio areas. So if you're really interested in learning more about that, or maybe you have no idea about one of those certain issue areas and you want to dive into that, we welcome our interns to really sit on meetings with staffers, sit on meetings with the senator, go to hearings, attend briefings to really get a more well-rounded outlook on that specific issue area. So our DC office is A little bit different than the state, but they really do go hand in hand. So how to apply? Our application right now for the spring session is open, but on the website it's closed. So if you're really interested in this spring, I have a business card in the back that I'll leave for the rest of the night. If you guys are interested, please feel free to email me ASAP and we can see if that's an opportunity. But if you're more interested in the spring or the fall next year, those applications are going to open in January. So you have a little bit of time to think about that. Our application is pretty straightforward. It's all online. It just has a 3-question questionnaire asking about your interest. And then we ask for a resume, cover letter, a transcript that does not have to be official, so you don't have to pay K-State for the transcript. The unofficial works perfect. And then 2 letters of recommendation. And my advice on the letters of recommendation are to find someone who really knows your work ethic and knows you well. We're looking for someone who can write well about you, not just their title. And then it's just a Zoom interview with myself and my other intern coordinator, Jill, who's in the DC office. Then we have some fun pictures. You might recognize some of these people. We've had a lot of K-Staters in the past, but you get to do a lot of different fun things. In the summer, we have a softball team, so you can play on that if you'd like to. And then you actually get sworn into the Senate as a Senate intern, so that's what one of the pictures is for. And then the Capitol tour, that's always fun to go on the Dome tour. And then again, just some more fun pictures. Most of our interns get to go to the White House on a tour and then also get breakfast or lunch or do something individually with the senator just so you can get to know him more during your internship. So if you guys have any questions, we'd be happy to answer those. And then I guess we do have one more thing.
The other thing I would mention to you all is that we are always hiring full-time staff. If you have an interest in working for the senator after you graduate, even if you're looking at May, you're looking at next year, you're graduating in December, we'd love to connect. We'd love to get to know you. The senator is interested in offering opportunities to Kansans that want to go and serve and spend some time in either his state offices or DC. So don't hesitate to connect with us. We'd love to get coffee with you and tell you more about the work of the Senate and what Senator Moran is doing to represent Kansans.
Are there any questions? Okay, seeing none, thank you.
Hello, I have a question. Hello?
Senator George.
So my question is the role open for international students too?
Sorry, would you say that one more time?
So I said, is the role open for international students who are not permanent residents and who are not citizens?
Yes, actually, that would be a good question for Kristen, our operations.
I appreciate the question. The Senate does require that people that are paid by the Senate, you have to be a U.S. citizen.
Okay.
Thank you for asking. I wish I had an answer.
Thank you.
Okay, are there any other questions? Okay, thank you. Presentation's so nice, we clapped twice. With that, are there any other first open period speakers? Okay, seeing none, we'll go into approval of the minutes. Are there any corrections or is there a motion to approve? Senator Hannah,
I move to approve the minutes.
is there an objection? Okay, the minutes will stand approved. With that, we will go into announcements. First one is the Joint City Commission and Student Senate meeting and meet and greet will take place next Thursday, November 21st, 2024. This will be an opportunity to meet with the Manhattan Mayor and the City Commission to discuss ways we can work together. There will also be light appetizers and refreshments. It will start exactly 1 hour before Senate at 6 p.m. If you have any questions, email or contact SGA Legislative Director Talbert. 2, proxies. If you're going to be absent from a Student Senate meeting, please fill out this link, even if you aren't sure if your absences will be excused. 3, if you'll be physically absent from Student Senate but would like to attend via Zoom, please fill out the Student Center Zoom request form. Speaker Quest will review requests based on the Student Senate attendance policy. Please submit requests here. 4, want to give props to someone in Student Senate, fill out the Student Senate shout-out form, and Speaker Pro Tem Hasseltine will read them at the end of our meeting. Fill out your shout-outs here. 5, the SGA Member of the Week is Joshua Maupin. Josh filled in for the Student Review Board Chair when they were unavailable to try cases. This is only his first year in the judicial branch and his first year at K-State, and he did a fantastic job. Well done, Josh. 6 is the upcoming events calendar, and the quote of the week is, "Respect is the basis of meaningful discourse. When we come together with an open mind, there is no issue we can't work through," by former U.S. Senator Nancy Casabon. With that, we will now go into commendations. The first one on the agenda is Resolution 242550, commendation to the 50th anniversary of the College of Architecture, Planning, and Design Ekdahl Lecture Series. Is there a motion to consider? Chair Koch.
I move to consider Resolution 50.
Second.
The author will please come forward.
All right, Resolution 242550, commendation to the 50th anniversary of the College of Architecture, Planning, and Design Ekdahl Lecture Series. Author Brandon Kermer, sponsors Anna Koch and Benji Carton. Whereas on October 23rd through 24th, 2024, the College of Architecture, Planning, and Design, APD, celebrated the 50th anniversary of the Ekdahl Lecture Series with a 2-day event which invited 3 different guest lecturers to share their experiences. Whereas the Ekdahl Lecture Series was named in honor of distinguished architect Oscar S. Ekdahl, a 1933 graduate of Kansas State University, KSU, whose dedication and excellence in architecture and design is embodied by the creation of this lecture series. Whereas since its establishment in 1974, the Ekdahl Lecture Series has brought big name and leading voices in the architecture and design world to KSU. Whereas the Ekdahl Lecture Series serves as a forum for all students to get exposure to the design field with the opportunity to learn about the specific experience of each individual designer. Whereas on Wednesday, October 23rd, 2024, the College of APD welcomed Laurie Allen and Jenny Myers. Whereas Laurie Allen is a distinguished professor, author, and one of the most renowned landscape architects practicing today. Whereas Allen's most notable projects included Apple Park in Cupertino, California, Washington Monument in Washington, D.C., and Bryant Park in New York City. Whereas Allen presented on his experience during his vast career in designing public parks, residential gardens, and corporate campuses. Whereas Jenny Myers has over 15 years of experience in architecture, product design, and environmental design. Whereas Myers is currently the design director at Rios, where she leads the design process on projects for the top leaders in technology, advertising, broadcasting, life sciences, and culture. Whereas Myers presented on her experience using an interdisciplinary approach to design thinking and how that has led to her being a leader in modern design innovation. On Thursday, October 24th, 2024, the College of APD welcomed Guy Nordenson. Guy Nordenson is a renowned professor, author, and structural engineer who has been at the forefront of waterfront development research, including post-Hurricane Sandy contributions to New York's climate resilience efforts. Whereas Nordenson's most notable project included the block building at the Nelson Atkins Museum in Kansas City, Missouri, the Kimball Art Museum expansion in Houston, Texas, and the National Museum of African American History and Culture in Washington, D.C. And whereas Guy Nordenson presented on experience in climate adaptation and what that means for structural engineering. Be it resolved that Section 1, the Kansas State University Student Governing Association shares in celebrating this 50-year milestone of the College of Architecture, Planning, and Design's Ekdahl Lecture Series. Section 2, KSU SGA thanks Laurie Allen, Jenny Myers, and Guy Nordenson for taking the time to present to the students of KSU in celebration of such a huge milestone. Whereas upon passage by the Student Senate and signature of the Student Body President, a copy of this resolution shall be sent to Laurie Allen, Jenny Myers, Guy Nordenson, Dean of the College of APD, Michael McClure, Associate Dean of the College of APD, Katie Kingery-Page, Communications and Events Coordinator of the College of APD, Thomas Jackson, Architecture Department Head of the College of APD, Matthew Knox, Interior Architecture and Industrial Design Department Head of the College of APD, Nathan Howe, Landscape Architecture and Regional Community Planning Department Head of the College of APD, Dr. Houston Gibson, Provost and Executive Vice President Jesse Perez-Mendez, and University President Dr. Richard H. Linton.
Are there any questions or corrections for the author? Parliamentarian Blood.
On line 76, can we add doctor before
Provost Mendez went to Dr. Christmas.
Are there any further questions or corrections? Okay, seeing none, is there a motion? Senator Shirkey.
I move to approve resolution 50 unanimously.
Second.
Okay, is there an objection? The resolution will stand approved. With that, we will go into approval of appointments. Is there a motion to consider Resolution 51? Senator Hannah.
I move to consider resolution 51.
Second.
The author will please come forward.
I've got a correction. Obviously, the line 22 should say Health and Human Sciences. Approval of new student senators, author Joseph Lilly, sponsors Senate Operations Committee Carson S. Cuesta. Whereas there are currently 5 vacancies for the position of student senator for the College of Health and Human Sciences. Whereas Henry Bailey and Jaden Weaver have been nominated by the caucus of the College of Health and Human Sciences in their capacity to fill the vacancy. And whereas there is currently 1 vacancy for the position of student senator for the College of Agriculture, and whereas Taryn Cox has been nominated by the caucus of the College of Agriculture in their capacity to fill the vacancy, be it resolved that Section 1, the following individuals be approved as senators for the College of Agriculture, Henry Bailey and Jaden Weaver, and Section 2, the following individual be approved as a student senator for the College of Agriculture, Taryn Cox.
Are there any questions or corrections for the author? Parliamentarian Blood.
On line 8, strike the "and" at the end of the line, and on line 11, replace the period with a semicolon.
Are there any further questions or corrections? Okay, with that, is there a motion? Senator Glanville.
I move to approve resolution 51 unanimously.
Second.
Is there an objection? Okay, if the people who are going to be sworn in, if you'll please come forward, as well as the Phase 2 mentees that still need to be sworn in. Okay, I'll swear in the senators first. So if the justice senators will raise your right hand and say "I will" at the end. Excellent. I do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the office of student senator and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Kansas State University Student Governing Association. Okay, and then if you will swear in the...
Okay, raise your right hand and say "I do" at the end. Or "I will" at the end. I do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the office of Emerging Leaders Coordinator, or Phase 2 Emerging Leaders. That's my position. And will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Kansas State University Student Governing Association.
I will.
Okay, so we're going to go through and introduce yourself. Give your name, major, pronouns, hometown, and favorite smell.
My name is Melina Carbajal. I am studying criminology and psychology, and my pronouns are she, her. I am from Great Bend, Kansas, and I like the smell of caramel.
Okay. Hi, my name's Anna Halstead. I'm majoring in political science. I'm from Topeka. My favorite smells oranges. Did I miss anything? Oh, she, her.
She said she didn't.
Hi, everybody. I stood before you a couple weeks ago when I was becoming a Phase 2 emerging leader. I'm Henry Bailey. I'm majoring in athletic training. My pronouns are he, him. My hometown is Olathe, Kansas. And my favorite scent, I think I said my girlfriend's family makes these candles and they are really awesome. So I'm going to say my girlfriend's candles, not sponsored.
My name is Taryn Cox. I'm an agricultural communications major. I'm from Walla Walla, Washington. My pronouns are she, her, and my favorite smell is probably coffee.
Okay, so senators, you can go sit down. Thank you. Emerging leaders, we're going to do a really quick mentor reveal. So turn around and close your eyes. And then if your mentors will come up. Yeah, mentors come up, please. Okay, you can turn around.
What? That's crazy. I've known you for like 5 years.
Okay, congrats, guys. Thank you.
Okay, with that, we'll now go into committee reports. Are there any committee chairs who would like to give a report? Chair Lilly.
All right, it's soapbox time again, which is still so not fun, except this time it kind of sucks because it's unfortunately become relevant that I have to say, if you feel like you've been wronged by another senator in a way that at all inhibited your ability to be here, vote, anything like that, that makes them eligible for expulsion. So just bring it to like Carson or I guess, and kind of mention that, and we'll see if we can get it fixed. Most of the time it's a misunderstanding anyway. I had one other thing and I forgot it, so we'll wait till next week.
How's the war on vacancies?
How's the war on vacancies?
Yes.
Well, we got 3 this week, and then we're gonna have a tie break in the spring. We just finished filling agriculture, but we're undoing that in the spring also. So we'll see where everything stands after operations committee gets through with all of it. But we will be going backwards before we go forwards for a bit.
Are there any, Chair Koch.
Is there a reason why Senate Ops hasn't been meeting the past few weeks?
We were not going to have quorum last week, and we had planned to do expulsion meetings then, but because I had already had one less than I would need to not have quorum, say they weren't going to be there until the day of, and because I want to spread out the expulsions so that it's not kind of like a lightning round, because that feels pretty disrespectful, I decided to wait to have that until the spring, and then the week before that we just had no pertinent business at the time.
Are there any further questions? Okay, thank you. Are there any further committee chairs who would like to report? Chair Strong.
All right, so the Student Allocations Committee tabled Bill 35 to Turf Club. They have a much more official, but it's also like 12-word name. So basically it's the golf course maintainers. Anyways, point being, they're an academic competition team. They came for general pool funds. Statutorily, we can't let that happen. We accidentally let that happen. So any questions on that?
Okay, seeing none, thank you. Are there any further committee chairs that would like to give a report? Okay, seeing none, we'll go into directors' reports. Are there any directors that would like to report? Vice President O'Malley.
Hey, what's up, guys? Pretty simple today. If you haven't seen my email or my GroupMe messages, you haven't checked your phone. But if you haven't, it's up here. So tomorrow from 5 to 7, we have the bowling alley rented out here in the basement. Totally free to all you guys. We got a bunch of multicultural student organizations coming. Hopefully a lot of student government people coming too. Last year was the first year we did this. because I think relationships between us and MSOs haven't always been the best. I think they're getting better, but I think we still need to be intentional about maintaining those relationships. I think this is the perfect way to do it. It's pretty chill. It was a lot of fun last year. It was also really well attended. A bunch of different administrators are going to be there, and I always love talking to students. So I think it'll be a great time, and that's kind of all I got. If there's any questions, I'm happy to. Yeah.
Senator Alvarez.
You guys aren't getting food, right?
I do not think we're going to have food.
Cool.
Yeah,
Was
I
my
know.
question. Didn't know how much I had to prep.
Very sad, but yeah, money.
Are there any further questions? Okay,
sweet.
Thank you. Are there any further directors that would like to report? Elections Commissioner Kermer.
Alrighty, so I promised this to you guys last week. This is just a brief presentation, and then this will be updated on our KSU SGA elections website soon too. I'm going to point out some differences with our election code that changed after the bill that passed in the spring, but it's not all the changes, and I will go through those changes once you guys actually file for your position. You'll have a presentation, quick 15-minute presentation that we'll go through once you've actually filed, just explaining all the election code, things that are governing your decisions as you run your campaign. So that'll be in the future. So January 21st at 8 a.m. This is your magical date and time when you can start campaigning. This is when the KSYS election link will become active. Don't publicize anything on social media until January 21st at 8 a.m. This is the first day of classes for the spring. It is a Tuesday, since that Monday is Martin Luther King Jr. Day. So, and then these are the other deadlines that we're looking at. So January 21st at 8 a.m., that was that campaign beginning. Filing on KSYS begins. We're looking at February 4th at 11:59 p.m. That's your deadline to file for president/vice president. That has a few other requirements to file, which are also listed on our website. February 18th at 11:59 p.m., that's the deadline to file for all other candidates. So that's going to be your Senate positions, that's going to be your UGB positions, and your collegian media group. February 25th at 8 a.m., that's going to be the start of elections. February 26th at 11:59 p.m., that's going to be the end of elections, and that's also when our expense reports are due. This is a little different from last time because of the new elections code, like I mentioned. And then something different is that the election results are released the following day. So the election results are not going to be released that same night, which is a little unusual, but I promise I'm not going to wait until 11:59 the next day. Those will probably come out the next morning. So please note, all deadline times have been changed to 11:59 p.m. Before we passed the new elections code, there were some weird deadlines that were like 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. just sprinkled in randomly. So to be more uniform, we've changed everything to 11:59 p.m. on the day that was specified. And then reapportionment of Senate seats. This is based off the registrar's numbers. You'll see that there's not a huge amount of change. The only thing is that Health and Human Sciences is losing a seat, and that is going to AP Design. That is because Interior Design left Health and Human Sciences and was swallowed by AP Design. And that's also reflective of the record-breaking class size that the College of Architecture Planning Design has seen for our freshman year this year. So that's all I had for this one. Does anybody have any questions?
Yes, Vice President O'Malley.
Yeah, I remember when we talked about changing the election code last year, and we moved so voting could happen until 11:59 on that last day, which I think makes a lot of sense. We also talked about having and working with the radio to make sure the result wasn't announced till the next day in the evening, because a lot of campaigns like to have a watch party. So I guess my question is your plan still to try and work with the radio to get that announcement in the evening? So if a campaign still wanted to have some type of little watch party, it could be announced then.
I would love to include the radio still. That might be something that we discuss with the Elections Promotion Committee once that's formed, in coordinates with the Elections Board as well. But I could definitely be entertained to the idea of waiting for the evening. But I'll let you guys know on that one.
Are there any further questions? I have one. Is the only race that we're no longer administering college councils? So,
Yes. So Brian and I have been working on that for a little bit. Technically, with another bill that was passed that distanced ourselves from college councils, I have been in the process of emailing those deans that we've hosted the college council elections for. The only one that's kind of, from my understanding, has been active is the College of Agriculture. And that's also the only dean that I've actually heard back from, so I appreciate that a lot. But he has since passed it on to his associate dean, who's in charge of the Agriculture College Council, and I will then follow up with the rest of the deans. But what we get told the College of Agriculture is that if it's imperative that we host their elections still for this year, we can host it this year and then work to transition them off our system the following year after that.
follow up. Granted. The other question is, are we still administering the Collegian Media Group? I thought we...
So the Collegian
for
Media
subject?
Group is not listed in our statutes right now. I don't know if, was that listed in our statutes before the elections code was updated?
I don't think,
I don't think it's ever been listed.
I don't think we actually outlined which elections we ranked. The college councils were outlined in the college council constitutions. Collegian Media Group, I don't think ever was, and they're not currently. UGB is outlined in our, in the most current version of the statutes or bylaws regarding elections, one of the two.
My take on it, I was going to contact, I'm still going to contact the Collegian Media Group. That's one group I haven't reached out to yet, but it's under my influence that since it's a campus-wide kind of campaign, I was willing to still allow them to be on our election system.
Senator Sure.
Point of information regarding that. Unless there's been a lot of work in the past few months, that group is not operational. There are some members that are currently on Zoom that were also elected. I was also elected to that position, and we worked on the committee for like the first month, and then we deemed it, at least I deemed it, that I wasn't going to continue to participate. I believe the other members were in the same position, so I'm not convinced that institution's actually functioning right now.
Okay.
Second point of information, I think you're right, they have an advisory council now. So this is kind of, my understanding is a while back they transitioned to this advisory committee that they pick instead of this. So I looked into that too, because I'm not sure.
And that's kind of what a lot of the colleges have switched to instead of their college councils too. Does anybody know if the College of Arts and Sciences College Council is still active?
There is an elected group, and they have met a couple of times, but active is a very strong word.
Okay, that's one dean I'm waiting to hear back from, and then I'm also waiting to hear back from Health and Human Sciences.
We have nothing.
Okay.
Senator Owen.
I can say as far as Arts and Sciences College Council, that there's like 3 or 4 of us in here that were actually elected to that, and now we're here. So that's probably a good representation of what's going on there.
True.
Senator Shirky.
Yeah, point of information, I second what Owen said. We met and then decided to not continue to meet. For engineering's functioning, we just don't interact with SGA at all, don't need to, so.
Cool.
Are there any further questions?
I am waiting to hear back from Arts and Sciences, but I've heard their dean is currently traveling internationally.
Oh, yes, he is. Are there any further questions for the Elections Commissioner? Okay, seeing none, thank you.
Again, like I said, this will be on the website very soon.
Okay, are there any further directors who would like to give a report? Seeing none, we will go into the approval of the allocations. The first is Bill 242534, FY student allocation to the American Society of Heating, Refrigerating, and Air Conditioning Engineers. They requested $600 and were recommended $600. The next one is Bill 36, FY25 allocation to the on-the-spot improv. They requested $1,500 and were recommended $1,500, and both bills were referred favorably from SAC 7 to 0 to 0. Is there a motion to approve the allocations? Chair Strong.
I move to approve the allocations meetings.
Second.
Is there an objection? The allocations will stand approved. And with that, we will go into final action. The first bill is Bill 242537, FY26 allocation of sports club funds, which was referred favorably from SAC 7-0. The author will please come forward.
All right, well, the Student Allocations Committee met, we heard all the presentations, and we allocated the money. So other than that, got nothing to say other than I thought that the committee did a good job, and you should vote yes on this.
Okay, seeing as that was debate in the positive on Bill 37, is there any debate in the negative? Seeing none, is there any debate in the positive? And is there any further debate at all? Okay, with that, we will go into a roll call vote on Bill 37.
Alvarez,
Yes.
Bailey,
We'll pass.
okay. Black,
Yes.
Blood,
Yes.
Bolton,
Yes, via proxy.
Brugan, Byers,
Yes.
Casement,
Yes.
Koch,
Yes.
Cox,
Yes.
Ediger,
Yes.
Erickson,
Yes.
George,
Yes.
Giefer,
No by proxy.
Glanville,
Yes.
Glasscock,
Yes.
Griffith,
Yes, via proxy.
Hassan Shakib, Hannah,
Yes.
Hoffman,
Yes, by proxy.
Holmes, Holzmeister,
Yes.
Islam, Jacobson Madeline,
Yes, by proxy.
Jacobson Michael,
Yes.
Jonak,
Yes.
Carton,
Yes.
Keen, Kidd,
Yes, by proxy.
Kermer,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Lee,
Yes.
Lilly,
Yes.
McCulloch,
Yes.
Moltz,
Yes.
Morris,
Yes.
Nagai Velasquez,
Yes by proxy.
Otto,
Yes.
Owen,
Yes.
Peterson, Palenko,
Yep.
Prey,
Yes.
Robbie,
Yes.
Rafferty,
Yes.
Richenberg,
Yes.
Shahasavari, yes, Shirky,
Yes.
Sides, Stewart, Strunk,
Yes.
Sushanik, Uphouse,
Yes.
Yes.
Zacco,
Yes.
and then Bailey.
Yes.
Okay, that will pass 44 to 1 to 0.
Okay, with that, we will now go into final action on Bill 38, increase of the K-State Student Union Operations Agreement, referred favorably from SSF 9-0. The author will please come forward.
Hi, you get to hear me on Zoom tonight. Sorry, I'm sick.
Were there any
I-
changes?
There were only small spelling changes made to the bill.
Okay, you have first rights to debate.
Okay. I am so incredibly proud of the work that my committee has done and put in. This is, I think, the 8th week that they've been working on this union increase and hoping to get it passed here tonight. There were many late nights of deliberation, understanding the financial situation that we are currently in. It's really awesome that we have this $900K that we can allocate back out of student dollars back to student entities. But we also understand that there are a lot of questions and there are a lot of discussions, deliberations that need to be had about where is the best place to put this money and how much should we put in each allocation we're making. And I think that they understood the decisions that they were making and made the best decision for the entity itself as well as for the students of this university. So I really encourage you to trust them and trust their decision and trust that they're informed and vote yes on this bill and return some funds back to the union, which was cut so severely due to COVID.
Okay, seeing that was debate in the positive on Bill 37, is there any debate in the negative? Senator Shirkey.
So this is more of a neutral debate because in this case, there's definitely some reasonable arguments to be made about how we can better support the union going forward. I do want to caution the Senate as a body, we absolutely must not turn this into a rubber stamp approval process. The mere fact that in the past, we have been forced to make very difficult decisions during the COVID pandemic regarding funding of groups like the union does not obligate us to change our future policies. We should consider each proposal on its merit and only provide additional funding to those which we truly think will best serve the needs of our students. That's all. Just take a little bit of thought on each SSF bill. They're really important. They're the most important work our Senate does.
Seeing as that was debate in the negative, is there debate in the positive? Senator Byers.
Hey guys, so working on this bill, we really took everything that Shirkey said into consideration. We are absolutely not just increasing this because we're trying to rebound from COVID. I think that there are a lot of benefits to be had from having the union as a standpoint at our university. All of the incoming students go through there. The union needs a lot of work. We also employ a lot of students, and because of inflation rates, we need to be able to compensate them for what minimum wage is. We need to be able to give students a raise because we're all trying to make money. So given all of that, if we take into account what the union does as a hub for our university, how it brings in new students, and how we pay students through this, I think that this is a really good bill to consider. It just benefits the university as a whole. It really is the central stronghold of what we represent as a community. So I would really encourage you to vote yes on this and to increase the union funding.
Okay, seeing as that was debate in the positive, is there any debate in the negative? Seeing none, is there any debate in the positive? And is there any further debate at all? Okay, seeing none, we will go into a roll call vote on Bill 38. Chair Lilly.
I move to bulk roll call 38, 39, and 40.
Second.
Or is it 37, 38, 39?
37, 38.
No, it's 38, 39, 40. Second.
Second.
37, 40.
Okay. Is there no Senator Planko?
I object.
Okay. Seeing as it has been moved, seconded, and objected to bulk roll call or vote on all three bills 38, 39, and 40, we will now take a hand vote on whether or not to bulk roll call or vote on these bills. If you are in favor of bulk roll calling bills 38, 39, and 40, please raise your placards now. Proxies raised too. Yeah, okay. You can lower them. All opposed, same sign. Okay. You can lower them. And any abstentions? Okay. With that, the motion will pass, and we will go into a bulk roll call vote on bills 38, 39, and 40. Very wise. Okay.
So we debated on 38, now we debate on 39, and then debate on 40.
Excellent. Okay, with that, we'll now go into debate on Bill 39. If the author will please come forward. And were there any changes in committee?
Again, only small spelling changes, just to make sure everything was up to our standards.
Okay, yeah, first rights to debate.
Once again, pretty similar argument to why we should pass the operations account. R&R is what allows the building to continue to function, continue to be clean. Increasing funding for R&R will allow us to have new equipment in the building, as well as allow us to have a cleaner building, which is better for campus health as well as campus environment. A lot of prospective students come through the union, and they look at that as a symbol of our university. And if it's falling into disrepair or is dirty, it might affect enrollment numbers, as well as just the general perception that guests and visitors have about our K-State family and our K-State community. So I think it is very important that we are putting money back into the R&R reserve in order to maintain the aesthetics of our building as well as its safety and longevity.
Seeing as there was debate in the positive, do we have debate in the negative? Seeing none, is there debate in the positive? And is there any further debate at all? Okay, seeing none, we will go into debate on Bill 40. If the author will please come forward. And if there are any changes.
Once again, just spelling changes.
You go first, rights to debate.
In the same way that we want to increase the R&R reserve, we should be increasing the R&R budget for year in and year out approvals. Just this year, most of their R&R budget is being spent on replacing chairs up in the ballroom, which have been around for about 10 years and are just in need of some refurbishment. And we have an ongoing struggle against the HVAC systems, which are continuing to decline and can be very expensive to maintain and replace over time. So ensuring that we can get those projects done will make sure that the building stays open to its full hours and is able to serve students in the best way possible.
Okay, with that, seeing as that was debate in the positive on Bill 40, is there any debate in the negative? Seeing none, is there any debate in the positive? And is there any further debate at all? Okay, with that, we will go into a bulk roll call vote on Bills 38, 39, and 40. And just as a reminder, you can vote individually on each bill. So you can say, for example, yes to 38, no to 39, and yes to 40, or yes to all or no to all. So you have your full autonomy there. So Speaker Pro Tem Hesselstein will take it away.
Okay. Alvarez,
Yes to all.
Bailey,
Yes to all.
Black.
Yes to all.
Sorry, this might take a minute. Blood,
Yes to all.
Bolton,
Yes to all.
Brugan, Byers,
Yes to all.
Casement,
Yes to all.
Koch,
Yes to all.
Cox, Edgar,
Yes to all.
Erickson,
Yes to all.
George,
Yes to all.
Giefer,
Yes to all.
No to all by proxy.
Glanville, sorry.
Yes to all.
Glasscock,
Yes to all.
Griffith,
Yes to all via proxy.
Hassan Shakib,
Yes to all.
Hannah,
Yes to all.
Hoffman,
Yes to all by proxy.
Holmes, Holzmeister,
Yes to all.
Islam, Jacobson Madeline,
Oh, yes to all by proxy.
Jacobson Michael,
Yes to all.
Jonak,
Yes to all.
Carton,
Yes to all.
Keen, Kidd,
Yes to all by proxy.
Kermer,
Yes to all.
Kramer,
Yes to all.
Lee,
Yes to all.
Lily,
Yes to all.
McCullough,
Yes to all.
Moltz,
Yes to all.
Morris,
Yes to all.
Nagai Velasquez,
Yes to all by proxy.
Otto,
Yes to all.
Owen,
Yes to all.
Peterson, Palenko,
Yes to 38, no to 39 and 40.
alrighty, Prey,
Yes to all.
Robbie,
Yes to all.
Rafferty,
Yes to all.
Richenberg,
Yes to all.
Shahasavari,
Yes to all.
Shirky,
Yes 38, no 39, yes 40.
Sides,
Yes to all.
Stewart,
Yes to all.
Strunk,
Yes to all.
Sushanik,
Yes to all.
Uphouse,
Yes to all.
and Zacco.
Yes.
Alrighty. I guess I shouldn't have turned that off. I gotta get Katie's in really fast. Okay. The Bill 242538 will pass 47 to 1 to 0. Bill 242539 will pass 45 to 3 to 0. And Bill 242540 will pass 46 to 2 to 0.
Okay, with that, we will now go into final action on Resolution 49, which is the FY 2026 Educational Opportunity Funds allocation, which was referred favorably from the Tuition Enhancements Committee 8 to 0 to 0. If the author will please come forward. Were there any changes in committee?
There were no changes made in committee.
You have first rights to debate.
Okay, so I just want to encourage everybody to vote yes on this resolution. My committee worked really hard to deliberate and sat through several weeks of presentations to fund all of these lovely organizations, and Tech was lucky enough this year to be able to fund all of the proposals 100%. So a vote yes means that all of these organizations are able to continue their function for the next year. So thank you.
Okay, seeing as that was debate in the positive on Bill or Resolution 49, is there any debate in the negative? Seeing none, is there any debate in the positive? Elections Commissioner Kermer.
I'm just going to say real quick, no vote on this puts this money back into reserve that we can't touch. So please vote yes.
Seeing as that was debate in the positive on Resolution 49, is there any debate in the negative? Seeing none, is there any debate in the positive? And is there any further debate at all? Okay, with that, we will go into a hand vote on Resolution 49, the FY26 Educational Opportunity Fund allocation. If you are in favor of passing Resolution 49, please raise your placards now. Proxies raised too. Okay, you can lower them. All opposed, same sign. And any abstentions? Okay, with that, Resolution 49 will pass. Okay, so we'll now go into the introduction of the allocations. Maybe. Okay. The first is Chair Strunk.
I move to consider the allocation.
Second.
Is there an objection? Excellent. Okay. Bill 41, FY25 student allocation to the Interfraternity Council. They requested $1,500 and were recommended $1,500. Bill 42, FY25 student allocation to the Panhellenic Council. They requested $1,500 and were recommended $1,500. And Bill 43, FY25 allocation to the Institute of Industrial Systems Engineers. They requested $1,500 and were recommended $1,500. So the allocations will stand approved. And we will now go into the introduction of legislation. The first bill is Bill 44, the reassignment of the Speaker Pro Tempore to the Senate Operations Committee. Is there a motion to consider? Caucus Leader Black.
I move to consider Bill 44. Second.
Okay, if the author will please come forward.
Bill 242544, reassignment of Speaker Pro Tempore to the Senate Operations Committee. Authors Alexa Hesseltine, sponsors Carson S. Cuesta, Brandon Kermer, and Bentley J. Talbert. Whereas a primary responsibility of the Speaker Pro Tempore is to facilitate the legislative process, whereas the Senate Operations Committee handles legislative matters, including editing, refining, and preparing legislation for the Student Senate, whereas on the Senate Operations Committee, the Speaker Pro Tempore would gain a comprehensive view of the legislative process, whereas the student body's President's Chief of Staff is sufficient to support the Strategic Oversight Committee's long-term cataloging and oversight of SGA's initiatives, and whereas moving the Speaker Pro Tempore from the Strategic Oversight Committee to the Senate Operations Committee will enhance the quality of legislative review without compromising the Strategic Oversight Committee. Be enacted that Section 1, Article 4, Section 11K2D of the KSU SGA bylaws shall be amended to read as follows. The student body president's chief of staff shall serve as a non-voting ex officio member. Section 2, Article 4, Section 11H2B of the KSU SGA bylaws shall be amended to read as follows. The student senate parliamentarian who shall have voting privileges in the committee and the speaker pro tempore who shall serve as a non-voting ex officio member. I guess that should say Section 3. This bill shall take effect upon passage by the student senate and the signature of the student body president.
Are there any questions or corrections for the author, Senator Shirkey?
A correction and then a question. Line 39, section 43. And then my question is, are the rumors true that you're doing this because you don't like the music in the Strategic Oversight Committee?
No.
Are there any further questions or corrections? Senator Prey.
On line 35, the elections commissioners serve on the operations committee.
Yes,
Different
that's
section.
correct.
Sorry.
Okay, are there any further questions or corrections? Okay, seeing none, thank you. With that, we will go into the introduction of Bill 45. Is there Senator or Chair Strong?
Mr. Speaker, I have two motions. First, I would like to bulk consider 45 and 46.
Second.
Okay, we'll take a vote on that one first. So the motion has been made to bulk consider bills 45 and 46, which are both SSF agreements. If you're in favor of their bulk consideration, please raise your placards now. Proxies raised too. Okay, you can lower them. All opposed, same sign. And any abstentions? Okay. Do you have another motion?
And also, Mr. Speaker, I would like to allow the author to summarize.
Second.
The motion was made to allow the author to summarize, and it was seconded. All those in favor, please raise your placards now. Proxies raised too. Okay, you can lower them. All opposed, same sign. Okay, you can lower it. And any abstentions? Okay, with that, we will bulk consider bills 45 and 46, and you can summarize.
Okay, hi then. Whereas the Student Services Fee Committee reviewed the request of KSDB operations during the scheduled period review cycle. Whereas the Student Services Fee allocation to KSDB operations supports their effort to continually provide radio broadcast services and maintain their equipment. Whereas KSDB provides multiple benefits to the student body, such as providing a safe-to-fail environment for student staff, daily shows that any student may be a guest on, and weekly SGA updates that inform the student body on our affairs. Whereas KSDB operations is currently funded at $89,000 for FY25, whereas the Student Services Fee Committee is recommending $93,000 for FY26, $96,000 for FY27, and $99,000 for FY28, and the report was accepted by the Student Senate for this contract. Whereas KSDB presented on the impacts of a 3% decrease and a 3% increase, whereas the Student Services Fee Committee deemed that a 5% increase for FY26, 3% increase for FY27, and a 3% increase for FY28 compounding increase to KSDB's operational budget would allow them to expand on their current operations and increase student wages. Whereas the Student Services Fee Committee voted 9-0 to recommend the following to the Student Services Fee Agreement to the Student Senate. And then everything below that is just pretty standard contract language, listing how things will be funded on an annual basis and ensuring that everything is in compliance with our funding laws. We did make one small change to the contract as it currently stands, removing a stipulation that a position must be funded for up to 12 months because it was forcing us to be out of compliance with the contract in order to be in compliance with the FTC.
Okay, with that, are there any questions or corrections for Bill 45? Parliamentarian Blood.
On line 85, when we reference the Constitution, given the changes, that would now be Article 4, Section 408, letter C, and Article 9, not Article 11.
Are there any further questions or corrections? Senator Shirkey.
There's a couple of statutes, just Control F, you'll find them.
I think we got them all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're in the agenda. I don't know if maybe they were fixed in the final product.
Okay. With that, are there any further questions or corrections on Bill 45? Okay, seeing none, Bill 46.
Okay, Bill 46 is the increase to the KSDB Reserve agreement, whereas the Student Services Fee Committee reviewed the request of KSDB Reserve during the scheduled 3-year review cycle. Whereas the Student Services Fee allocation to KSDB Reserve supports their efforts to continually provide radio broadcast services and maintain their equipment, whereas increasing electronic costs necessitate a larger reserve allocation, whereas KSDB Reserve is currently being funded at $3,880 for FY25, whereas the Student Services Fee Committee is recommending $4,500 for FY26, $4,500 for FY27, and $4,500 for FY28. Whereas KSDB Reserve has requested an increase in order to maintain and replace aging equipment, whereas the Student Services Fee Committee voted 9-0 to recommend the following Student Services Fee Agreement to Student Senate. And then again, after that, everything is pretty standard contract language.
Okay, with that, are there any questions or corrections? Senator Shirkey.
I have a question. Maybe this was already addressed. Why is the date not specified, the date of the month on line 38?
Because it is when this bill passes and not when it was introduced.
Okay.
Or, yeah. Chair Lilly.
I was just gonna say, we can't know that date. It changes the day of signing. So if you're trying to get contract signed, you will reprint it every day you think you're gonna sign it to get them signed. It's obnoxious, but that's just how life is.
Okay, cool.
Are there any further questions or corrections? Chair Strunk.
If it's supposed to be the day it passes, then on Bill 40, it says November 2026. So would that be when it comes into effect?
Chair Lilly, yep.
It should say, hold on, does it say something other than made this day of November?
It says made this day This
What
fourth day
line
of November
number?
2026.
What's the line number?
It's 49 on Bill 40.
It's 49 on what?
On Bill 40.
Oh.
Is that correct?
No.
Okay, then it's not going to be correct on the other one either. On 39.
I don't know that this is how we've done things previously, but when the committee was discussing it, this is what we agreed upon. For a bit of a point of information, every SSF contract requires 6 signatures to become like certified legislation, whereas our normal resolutions and bills that we pass only require the signature of the student senate and the student body president in order to be ratified. So the logic is that by the time we get the 6th signature, that will be the date that we'll have to reprint on the bill, because it needs Dr. Lane, Ethan Erickson, the president, the speaker, the student services fee chair, and the entity director.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Are there any further questions or corrections for Bill 46? Okay, seeing none, thank you. With that, we will go into second open period. Are there any second open period speakers? Speaker Pro Tem Heseltine.
Hi, I should have done this during director's reports, but I kind of forgot. I'm not gonna lie. I sent everybody a form. I'm starting to schedule people for first open period for next semester, the rest of the term. So I sent out a form to get interest because I don't want you guys to have to listen to people who you have no interest in hearing. So if you have anyone who you really want to come, I have that form open ideally until the end of next week because I want to give like ample time for me to be able to schedule people. So I'd really love your feedback just so we can have people coming to Senate who you guys are really interested in hearing from. So that's it. If you have anyone you want to come, just stick it in there. I know Katie already put some people in there, so I really appreciate that. But anyone else, feel free.
Okay, are there any further, Chair Lilly?
I also forgot to do this during my report and in back, but we're looking at, we've obviously had some filing issues, if you guys couldn't tell. So we're looking at kind of streamlining that. We is not me, we is a group of people, but at least 2 of them are on the Senate Operations Committee. So I think they're gonna make a group chat something.
Teams was the idea.
Well, a group chat, sorry, for deciding how we're gonna do all of it.
Sure, yeah.
So, I guess email Britton or maybe Brian, if you're interested in that. Because, I don't know, I'm not in it.
Okay. Are there any questions? Any questions? Seeing none, thank you. Are there any further second open period speakers? Chair Lee.
All right, folks, I just wanted to give you all a little update on the donations for citation stuff. So I met with our director Tucker the other day, and we're good to go. So Parking Services is working on getting it implemented by January 21. Now's the hard part. I've reached out to SGA leadership just 1 minute ago with a big email. And so basically just be on the lookout. We're hoping to get, our role is not only promotion, but also managing the coordinating the collection and drop off of donated items at Parking Services. And so if anyone is interested in volunteering, which would be great, if we can get some good interest, please let me know, so then we can we'll fill you in the loop and hopefully get this started. So January 21, 2025 is when we're going to get this off the ground, but we're going to start hopefully. What is it? What was it called when you start stuff really strong? Hit the ground running. Yeah. So that's the ideal thing to do here. So yeah.
Any questions? Senator Carton.
Based on what you said, did we get through the legalese issues with everything?
Yeah, I don't know what they're yapping about because Aaron Good literally emailed me back and was like, I don't know what you're talking about. She's like, if WSU can do it, so can we. So yeah, there's no legal issues, no state statute that says we can't do that because her interpretation of citations are not state debt, like a state issued debt necessarily. So yeah, but yeah, also like mind you, SJ is already hard to get people to come and join us here in Student Senate. It's gonna be hard for us to get you guys or other members of the other branches to volunteer. So you do it for your goodwill. If you're part of an honor club that needs community service hours, this is a great opportunity to do that. So.
Are there any further questions for the speaker? Okay, seeing none, thank you. Are there any further second open period speakers? Senator Shirkey.
Hey guys, got a tiny little update on that printing resolution we passed out. Went to Faculty Senate, got a lot of very useful feedback, and so now I'll be going to University Administration to actually make it happen. No, it's not going to happen anytime soon. It'll be like next academic year type thing because we don't want to like disrupt the IT operations. But yeah, we'll be going to administration, seeing if we can get free printing, and if we can't, hopefully this won't happen. I might come back to you guys with a bill for a $13,000 special allocation. That shouldn't need to happen though, because the administration should be able to handle it for us and get that done. So yeah.
Okay, are there any further second open period speakers? Okay, seeing none, we will go into the reference of legislation. Let's see here. Bills 41 through 43 will be referred to the Student Allocations Committee. Bill 44 will be referred to the Senate Operations Committee. And Bills 45 and 46 will be referred to the Student Services Fee Committee. And with that, Speaker Pro Tem Heseltine will take it away with Senate shoutouts.
Hello, George is here. The agenda having the wrong date. Shout out to Carson for granting his own follow-up. Join the #1 platform for free speech within student government on GroupMe. For more information, contact Matt Holzmeister. Shout out to forgetting the elections commissioner serves on ops. Don't worry, I think Brandon did too. But I'm going to jump down to one of them down here that says, don't worry, Brandon didn't forget. Ops just hasn't met. Shout out to proactive proxies for not abusing their extra vote. It helps our institution run smoothly. Blessed are we for the knowledge that surrounds this chamber. I mean Brian Blood. Blessed are those called to vote for seemingly no reason. Spending that allocated coin, oh yeah. Shout out to the love of statutes and the hate of statutes. Shout out to Senator Prey for giving Viva play-by-play of tonight's Senate. It's like I'm actually there. I love Alexa's, oh, somebody just added one. I love Alexa's lavender jacket. Thank you. Shout out to APD gaining another seat again. Hit the ground running, but really hitting the ground running, but really running like fast. Carson's looking pretty handsome up there. I feel like he wrote that. Shout out to Carson, loving the flannel with vest and the Hey Dudes. The week of 15 million. America and our allies. Shout out to Brothers Coffee. I love you.
Okay, and with that, Speaker Pro Tem Heseltine will take it away with our second roll call.
Alvarez. Here. Bailey.
Here.
Black.
Here.
Blood.
Here.
Brugan. Byers.
Here.
Casement.
Here.
Koch.
Here.
Cox.
Here.
Ediger.
Here.
Erickson.
Here.
George.
Here.
Glanville.
Here.
Glasscock.
Here.
Hassan Shakib.
Here.
Hannah.
Here.
Holmes. Holzmeister.
Here.
Islam, Jacobson,
Oh, yes.
Jonak. Here. Carton.
Yes.
Keen. Kermer.
Here.
Kramer.
Here.
Lee. Lilly.
Here.
McCulloch.
Here.
Moltz.
Here.
Morris.
Here.
Otto. Here. Owen.
Here.
Peterson. Tolanko.
Here.
Prey. Robbie.
Yes.
Rafferty.
Here.
Richenberg.
Here.
Shahasavari.
Here.
Shirky.
Yeah.
Sides.
Here.
Stewart.
Here.
Strunk.
Here.
Sushanik.
Here.
Uphouse.
Here.
Zacco.
Here.
Is there a motion to adjourn? Senator Hano.
I move to adjourn until Thursday, November 21st at 7 p.m.
Second.
We stand adjourned.
What should I like?